Right, so this is the description of the video. And step one is this. Where shall we declare those macros? I guess in a header that you would normally include, which is, I would say, this one, listener. The problem I have with that is that it's so WL, not WLR. Okay, this is this line is point 1. Declaration of the event server. Namely, listener WR output frame is literally the signal name here, which is a listener. So yeah, definitely belongs in listener, right? Yeah, why not? I mean the macro. This is related to WLR, but the macro that I'm going to define now could be put in the same header as this one. So I guess I don't need to include listener if I include WLR listener. Let's begin with fixing that, because otherwise, do we include this one? Then that is not needed. It's automatically included already. Let's put events first. Okay, now this thing is called declare listener. While it is kind of an internal macro, maybe we should make it a little bit more obscure, and then we can just undefine it here. In case I want to use this one now, not sure though. Yeah, I suppose I should prefix this with wayarc or something, so it doesn't totally get in the way. But then again, if I define macros, they should probably have wayarc as prefix anyway, or something. Let me think. I should not edit that because it's a generated file. This is the build directory. Yeah, it's a build directory. Okay, let's do the following. Okay, let's rename these things. Does it appear here? Yep. What shall I call them? I think I'm just gonna go with the underscore at the end. Could also maybe should put underscores at the beginning. So in the light of users should never declare macros that begin with underscores. So this is theoretically safer. Oops, was one at the end. These declare. Now everything should be automatically regenerated. So I type make. Shit. Underscore way arc declare listeners is apparently not defined. Totally is. Just defined here. What is it talking about? Oh, there's the thing is missing here. Okay, header is still not correct. Yep, that worked. Maybe I should make a footer as well, because I want to put more macros in it, or can I just edit the header? Yeah, and of course I can just edit the header, they're just macros. So let's put them here then. Okay, now maybe they should start with way arc, or maybe just WA or something. Okay, declaration of event servers. Yeah, I think that is the best name. I mean, certainly if you use the documentation of my events library. And then I would say this then exists of the event container. Let's write it out in full. No, it's what the type, right? But then I don't want to add the WLR in front of it. I don't think you can strip that later in a macro. So let's call it the events container name, which is then the name of the class without the WLR. And then the signal name. And that then should end up as at this line. Don't need indentation. Okay, let's see if that works. So we're going to use this instead of what we have or had here. So this would be output, comma, frame. Now let's add a semicolon here. Now that seems to work. At least it compiles. Now we have two semicolons. We remove semicolon here and it's a bit doubtful, right? How can I make sure that this is not treated as something else? Maybe it doesn't really matter. Let's just add an example. What is a good example here? Just use this one, sheet. Sheet with keyboard grep or something. Grep begin. Okay, that's sufficient. Let's do the next one. Point 2. Declaration of one or more corresponding event request handles. Yeah. So basically the exact same thing, but then with the handle. Let's say event handle. And then we just, this is the exact same thing, of course. If these two is just a pair that represents the whole thing, so we don't change that. And this then becomes signal name followed by handle type. and this thing just becomes add a handle after it. Hello, Yimang Shuxing, if I pronounce it correctly. I'm doing good, yeah. See, it's so close that I probably can just copy the comment as well. The events container struct is, for example, that. The first argument of macro is that. That's just exactly the same. And the name of the signal is, say, destroy. And then the name of the event bleep handle will be destroy handle. Hey, first time. Well, welcome. Yeah, it's not really educational what I do. It's just me working. But it's at a certain level. Some people just are either motivated by it or just generally interested to see how I do things. I mean, I don't want to be what is the right word? I don't want to pretend that I know everything, but I do have 30 years of experience. So yeah, the level is, I guess, different than when some noob who just learned C++ would be showing what they are doing. But it is what it is. It's just me doing stuff. Yeah, this is boringly the same, I'm afraid. This does not have to be in the class, right? You can declare a handle anywhere. So I'm just going to pretend that this is... okay, let's give it some indentation. Should I give the class also indentation? Because it is... yeah. Does that require more example? I would just repeat the same line, but then, yeah, no, let's do that. So, yeah, at some point there is just no reason to use a macro anymore. I mean, of course, I could use a macro here to split up the word seed and the keyboard grab begin handle, and then have the macro concatenate them with an underscore before and after it. But yeah, I mean, you might as well do that yourself. You have to type the word seed and the word and this word anyway. And then you might as well put the underscore before and after it. And this is the exact same thing, but then without a handle. I think I make the macros especially to be able then to combine them, if you get what I mean. So the combining macros are probably even more important. Sometimes it's just an intuitive feeling that it is the best thing to do, and then I forget again what the insight was, but it's still the best thing to do, I hope. Okay, so next thing was point 3. Declare a callback function. Wait, actually, let's test this one as well. That would not be it. Well, let's do that here anyway. Vi tiny wayland.cpp. So this would be the handle, and then you get it like that. And that, of course, then the same thing, so it should just compile. And then we get, I suppose the macros only really make sense if you repeat one of the keywords. And is that even the case in this case? Right? As soon as I combine them, they are repeated. But are they repeated in this case? No, I changed directory. WLR. So in this case, this macro does repeat it. See? So you have it here and you have it there, and the same for the signal name. So that's why this macro definitely makes sense. And this one is basically the same thing. This is also repeated. Both are repeated twice, or repeated once for a few. I guess. Yeah. So that makes sense to have a macro for that then. Otherwise, you could put one name here and then make a typo there or whatever. Well, really, they should be the same thing. So this is a little bit safer. Okay, point 3, declaration of a callback function. Now I'm gonna go back to this, and then we see that callback that belongs to that is the one with frame, of course, so that is this one. So for output frame, those two combined, see the declaration below the video, the description below the video that I typed in for all the background story here. And that's going to be, that should be the output of the next macro, which is, for which I don't have a name yet. Define, well, WA declare event callback. Yay. Can't make it shorter. And then event container name, comma signal name, and that then should be that. Where obviously output is that concatenated with an underscore and concatenated with the signal name. And then we get here listener. Normally, if you have the names, the first namespace, you just just begin with listener. That's the first namespace, and then double colon, etc. And then you assume that that it will be the listener, that it will be in global namespace. But as soon as you put it in a macro, then it's hidden from the user. Now it is possible that the user would create their own namespace listener and then use the macro inside that, and then you will get the wrong namespace. So if you use namespace in a macro, then it's better to put two colons in front of the first namespace to make sure that it is interpreted as the namespace in the global namespace. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing as here, of course. And then frame is the signal name again. Event type const reference data. I'm gonna rename this because it's going to be the same now for everything. That's kind of a disadvantage of using the macro. But this is only the declaration, so I might as well not use anything actually, at least here. Well, on the other hand, it's an event type. Event type. I'm gonna call it event type. It's just event type. Period. And then declare a callback function. Suited for I think that's about it. Yeah. I'm inclined to put the semicolon here because I really want this to be a declaration and not the beginning of a definition. But on the other hand, Maybe you should remove the void actually. Remove the void and the semicolon. Then you can use it both as a declaration and then later again for the definition. In which case it would not be declare anymore. Well, semi-declare though, but... Yeah, you do want the void included here, right? It means that I can't have a class scope in front of it, of course. So I need just two macros, and one for the declaration and one for the definition. This kind of sucks. I don't like the use of macros here, but I think it's just going to be less error prone in the end if you just do everything with macros. My main motivation actually to use these macros is because that will allow me to do compiler time checks on the correct usage at the moment that you pass. Well, you try to link it with the underlying wlroots event, which at the moment is not possible because you just pass a pointer to a WLR signal. The type is always the same. But if you split your events always up into this pair, then suddenly you can do the check. And therefore I wanted to have just always a pair, 2 words, everywhere, and therefore macros everywhere. It kind of sucks, but in the end it allows an extra check. A free function is the correct word for a function that is in a namespace, as opposed to being a member function. Or in global namespace, of course. Class a keyword? No, I think not, is it? I think so, because I think keywords are yellow, so I'm not even sure. You would say that it is a keyword. But it's a keyword later on, right? This is the preprocessor. So a preprocessor doesn't know anything about C++. So I think I can use class here. Okay, so class stam and then no semicolon, of course. Hoe noem je dat? Damn it. We'll call it a definition header or whatever. Definition header of a member function. Now they are by definition not const, at least the declaration. Sorry, this one. The declaration has the semicolon here, so I can't put const behind it. Is that not a problem? I can imagine that it doesn't even make sense to have a const callback function. But it could be. And in my example, I already have the semicolon here anyway. So maybe I should just remove the semicolon. So otherwise you have a double semicolon again. And I'm not going to document it because I find it a little bit weird to make it const at the moment. But this way people could just put const in front of this semicolon and then it would be a const one. And of course you can do the same thing here because also no semicolon. So just put const here to make it a const member function. Okay, let's test this one as well then. Define event callback. Oh, I didn't even do the declare one yet. Okay, so this declare was callback, yeah? So now we get that, but then callback. And then the same pair again with the semicolon. And that should work. And then you can also have then here I get that without a semicolon and then the class name before it, like that. And this is then define. It's still not, I don't know, does it read well? Is it not a bit too vague now that it doesn't look like a class member function? You could change the name to, let's say, define event callback for class. Tiny WL output. Or define, maybe replace callback here with member function. Define, yeah. It's a member function callback. Define event member function callback. So it becomes so long, right? I don't know. Maybe it's better to leave it like this because now it's the WA and then three things and it's kind of sort of a logical declare, define, and then event, and then the declare and define always followed by event callback. And the other one doesn't really need to be a member function, so okay, and then one more thing for the output frame thing. That would be this. I did split it up in two macros in the description that I wrote. So we have 4 macro to initialize the venture. That is a link to the underlying wlroots signal instance. Now that signal instance in this case is of course this one here. And then I want to link that. I think the word link is pretty good. Or link or initialize. Yeah. What would be a good name? And this is where then we can do extra compile time checks. Because if you link it to a absolutely random signal, it's always compiling, but being completely wrong. Completely wrong. That would cause all kinds of crashes. So I really want to have some type safety there, which is my main motivation to add these horrible macros. But using the right names for everything is also very, very important. Okay, so this is called WA. I'm gonna call it link. Link event server. So the event server was named as a word pair, output frame. And now I'm going to link it to this thing here. I'm not going to pass the ampersand, I think. Or shall I pass the ampersand as well? In fact, the frame is being repeated here. This is not necessary. You cannot avoid. You could say, hey, there's an output here, so let's reuse that. But that's not how it works. This wlr output thing is a random variable that happens to have the same name. But in fact, it is just this local variable that could have any name. So you have to pass that. But it must be something that points to an event. In this case, this will point to that events thing. I think this will work. So this as for this line here. Yeah, I don't know. It feels reasonable, the name and stuff. Can also muse about the order of stuff. Maybe you would put this one up front. But if you read it like English, this ends on server, of event server even. This could be read as the event server. I mean, better than that one. This is not the event server. This is also, but it's like in stages. So this is the WLR event server, but I was describing that earlier as the container with signals. The signal container or something like that. So I don't want to call both event servers. So then this is my signal container, and this is a combination of two words that are used also when declaring the event server. So I have a WA declare event server output frame, and now I have link event server output frame, right? So then you want this to follow immediately the event server. This is the event server-ish. And then we link it to whatever comes after that, I suppose. And that then, this macro now should end up as that line, for now anyway. So let's do that. WA link event server. Oops. Okay, this was the signal container, or how did I describe it? That would be this thing. How did I call it here? It's a collection of WL signal instances. Yeah. I don't think I gave it a name yet, really. Okay, well, since this thing is definitely something that comes from roots, so I'm going to call it a WLR signal container. And that then should become that line here. No, I'm not sure about this output thing here. This first output. That is also a random name, more or less. This is this is the signal container. And then events always the same, and this is the signal name. And this is the catenation again of the events container name. What? That is the same thing as this one. Ugh. Okay, let's turn on the lights. Can't see my keyboard. Hey, that is my dearest my keyboard. Yeah, no, these two are very much related though. So the only thing I know is that the type of this thing should be this with WLR in front of it. I think I can add a static assert for that. But apparently I called it events container. So this is on the events container. And then we can add a static assert. Where we demand that the type of this thing is equal to the yeah. How do you do that? Standard is same maybe. I have so non-existing memory anymore. I really hate it. Is same underscore v? Or probably. Yeah. Is same underscore v gives you the value of the same t comma u. I can just pass two types here, and then they are. This is true if the types are the same. So definitely a v here, and then I want to compare WLR concatenated with the events container name and type of, I suppose, of the events container. This must be a pointer to, not really, no, that's not the case actually. It must be convertible to. It must be convertible to pointer. So well, I don't know. I'm gonna ask LLM. Let's see if it knows this. I mean, got to use the new technology, right? So using C++ 20 and, well, no, let's using C++ 20. How can I static assert that given variable can be used as a pointer of a given type, and that is given the variable foo, it should be allowed to write foo something where foo operator is returning given type, or something like that. Give me the keywords. It shouldn't be that difficult. Now I think about it, I already have a concept in my own utils library that is something like this. So maybe it is difficult. So let's have a look at that. Repositories, utils. Something with is pointer like, but I'm not sure. It's print pointer hash. Is pointer like? Yeah, like literally. But yeah, that only returns if it is like a pointer, not what it dereferences to. Is pointer like arrow dereferenceable? Is dereferenceable? I don't need that. Hash arrow is pointer like dereferenceable. Is the if is detected dereferenceable type. I don't need a dereferenceable. Or do I? What does is standard disjunction do? Confused. Just an or. Oh, yeah. So it is a pointer or it has an arrow. It has arrow is this. Yeah, that's what I need. But then I need to know what that returns. So it must be both pointer like arrow dereferenceable. And now I want to get the type of that. It's not really helping, I think. I think if it is it does not have an arrow, but you can dereference it. It just seems extremely unlikely. Because it's an wlroots object, so it must be a pointer. It's not a class that implements this, it just is a pointer, period. Yeah, pretty sure about that. So I can simply demand that it is a pointer, and then therefore the type must be equal to, right? No, not right, because I am using my own classes, which does have that defined though. No, it's just, it could be a C++ class. Yeah, no, of course, yeah, it could be. So we need something that is pointer-like, but then I need to get the pointer of it, of the type of what that returns. But you can only dereference it. No, am I going to dereference it? I'm not going to dereference it. I'm always going to use an arrow. So I'm completely happy with if it is just an arrow type. So in this case we'd say is pointer like, well not this one, is pointer like, that would be is like arrow dereferenceable. That must be one that is true. If this is not true, then that is not going to be not going to help us. So this must be true. And then it's either because it is a pointer or it has an arrow. Now both could be true. either it's indeed just a pointer, but if it has an arrow, and that's also okay. But then we need to be able to get the type of that. So you can test them separately, I guess. You can just test if it is a pointer, then the type must be equal, and otherwise, if it has an arrow, then we can get the type of that thing. Basically, exactly like this. That would be the arrow type then. Okay, I think we can try to construct something. Let's say this one is pointer. So simply is standard is pointer. I think, is there a Boolean short circuit here? I doubt it. So we need conjunction. And then the value of that, I guess. The conjunction of something value. Blah, blah, blah. Is pointer. But yeah, if the type of events container equals this pointer, then it is a pointer because it is equal to the pointer. So this is going to be true if that is true. So there's no reason to use a conjunction here. Might as well not do this. It's kind of silly. Let's remove the conjunction here. to, but now we need an or then. That was conjunction, right? That was an and. So now need a disjunction then between this. So is same the type of the events container, blah blah blah, or something else, and the or is then done with the disjunction. Standard disjunction between is same type of events container, WLR events container name pointer. And now we're missing it if it is a const pointer. Is it allowed to be a const pointer? I don't think so. I don't know. Let's wait for the static assert to happen because of a const problem, and then I'll look at that again. So, and if it is not that type, then no, it must be it must have an operator, an arrow operator, that look like this. It's again the same thing, right? Either basically, yeah, no, it's more like it requires, but let me see. Arrow type is detected arrow type, but as arrow, and as arrow is used here. I don't know about this. You can try it maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Let me just go straight for the. I mean, there might be a problem that if you just try this and this does not compile, that we actually get an error. But I think that would be a different. That would be a compile time error, of course, and not the static would not fire the static assert. It just would not compile, and then I have to change it. But I'm not so super good at this, as you can see. So we're gonna test if the type is what I want. Hopefully that this works then. Let me see what is going wrong here. Why is that red? Nobody knows. Utils arrow type. So I want to do standard is same. The arrow type. Also of that pointer. The arrow type takes a template parameter, which is then of course again the type of this. Oh, that's why I was missing a backslash. Yeah, let's do it simple. Okay, probably a billion things will go wrong here. But it is a good attempt, hopefully. Where is this stuff? Defines type traits, I guess. Yeah, it's already there. Type traits. And then the arrow type here. Tills is point like. Let the errors begin. Did you mean double colon? Well, that was a typo. Yep. Right. Where did I miss the colon? I don't see it. I really don't see it. Say it again. Oh, here. Standard is same. Oh, now I see it. Oops. Type of, did you name type ID? No, I didn't. There is no type of. Well, that's a surprise. What? I meant declaration type. There. Declaration type, yeah. expected. Parenthesis open for function style cast or type construction. Hey Mitchell, what the hell is this? And chemical chimps, if I pronounce that correctly. I had not seen you, but hello. What am I doing wrong here? Feel free to chime in, because I do not get this error. I guess using the macro is a bit problematic here. Let me remove this from the macro at the moment. That compiles, right? Does not compile. That's because of the extra backslash there. So this compiles. It still doesn't compile. Use undeclared identifier. Heel erg signal container. A guy. So I'm just putting it here so we can fill everything in, and it's at least outside of the macro. Where then the events container is this one. And the events container name is output. And we can get rid of the backslashes. And okay, this junction is same. Standard is same. Utils declaration type events container. It's again this thing. And here we have events container name. No, that is again output. Yes. And then hopefully you get the same error. Error expected expression. Oh yeah, okay, this error was the same. But. Did I just miss that one as first error? Is this junction not working with the stuff without a value behind it? Cannot imagine that is it. Try this one again. Well, there's a problem with this. Okay, let's do that separately. Surely just this is okay. That's just a type. Using my type is what I expect to be a type. Thank you very much. Using, let's say, second type. And then first type, because these things are types. And these two should work. Nope. Struct tag. Must use struct tag to refer to type WL output in this scope. Oh, nasty. Nasty. So if we put struct here, but that is because there is a variable of the same name, so it is not being recognized as a type. Okay. Aha. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting it. So in the C code, you always have to put struct in front of it. So they just use struct blah blah as the type, and then they use blah blah as the variable of that type, and then they can just use that in the same scope. But in C++, the blah blah is interpreted as the type as well. So if you remove the struct, which you would normally do in C++, you don't say class foo, you just say foo after declaring class foo. Then now there is an ambiguation. If I use this and then expect the C++ to jump in and say, oh, that's a type, it's no longer a type. I mean, I copied this from C code, and it's actually also, it's a type, but also the variable. I have a variable now, so I should probably not use variables that have the same name as the struct, which is being used as a type all the way. On the other hand, I have been using everything the same, and every time it was a wlroots struct, I put struct in front of it. Not even because otherwise the C++ compiler would be confused, as is the case here, but just to make it clear for myself that this is a type that I borrowed from the C code, that it is basically a wlroots struct, which is wlroots is C code. And if I want to keep that up, and why not, I have to put struct in front of it every time I use it as a type, which I am not doing here. That is the problem. So you have to put struct in front of this, while here it is actually the variable name. And then it should work. So this must be struct. And this too. Yes, and now we found the problem, so now we can go back to, well, let's just add it to the macro. So I'm gonna put this back here. And then fix it. Every time we create the type, it really needs to have struct in front of it. Well, I wouldn't have guessed that without taking it out of the macro. Yay, that worked. Okay. It doesn't mean that it always works, because in this case we are testing it with something that actually has operator arrow defined, and I'm not sure that if that doesn't compile, I mean, this might not work. That gets this gets the return type of operator arrow. But if the operator arrow just doesn't exist, is that going to error out, or just say then, okay, in that case the standard is same as wrong? I doubt it. I think it's gonna error out. So we need to test this with a type that is a pointer instead of having an operator arrow defined, before we can say that is really working. But okay, let's remove the static assert here. So in this case, we have this, which has an operator arrow defined, because it is a C++ type that is defined here, this one. So I need an init call on something that is not that, and I'm gonna use that. I think here we have a case. Nope, XDG top level is also an event time. The XDG pop up also, my god, will we ever find this? Server backend. Now, server backend is definitely a pointer, right? So the server is of course my tiny WL server. There it is. The server is a tiny WL server, and that has a backend defined, which is just a pointer, just a simple pointer. So this thing does not have an operator arrow defined. And so we can test it over here, and that would mean, where's my init? No, not backend, actually backend, but then with an init here. So let's try our thingy out. The server in this case then is I guess this, right? No. Huh? It's backend, of course. Backend, new outputs. And we link it to this. So we can construct this from server backend arrow events dot new output. Then we have this. And the backend's new output is simply the concatenation of these two things. But the server object, which we don't have that. Because the macro is currently defined using output. Yeah, so we need that as well. Is that always going to be a pointer or what? So this thing is going to be something that is declared somewhere, probably part of an object. And why would I have a pointer? That's not very C++ like. Maybe I should demand that it is a reference instead. And then what is that then? This output thing here? It is the object that contains the signal server. Yeah, no way. I don't want to do that. We can treat it as a prefix. If I put the static assert after it, then I can just remove the whole output. If you get what I mean. So then this becomes server dot. That would be that one then. And this then must become outputs. Use of undeclared identifier WLR signal container. Nobody knows why that is still in here. I thought I changed that already. Yeah, this, I don't know. It is just this thing here. Error. Unexpected semicolon in nested name specifier. I did it again. It's like the time was rewinded. Already had this. I fixed it also. And now suddenly it's back. Why? How? I'm so going to watch my own stream after this. Popcorn. Where did this colon go after I fix it? Use of undeclared identify. What the fuck? This is deja vu. This doesn't make it. What? How? So now suddenly I have to do everything twice, or what? Let's the other type off because I know there was another one. Yeah, here. Declaration type. Expected expression. Expanded from static assert. Yep, and the struct is has finished. I think I copied the static assert with all the errors still there. So when I put it back, it wasn't fixed. Yeah, nah, finally we ran into the expected error. Member reference type, the blub blub is a pointer. Did you mean to use that? No, I didn't. It simply doesn't compile. Instantiation of templates, type alias arrow type requested here. Note expanded from is no member named operator in WLR backend. Yeah, that is a problem because, well, I expected this, that it doesn't exist and therefore it doesn't compile. But how to fix this? Because I just want my whatever it is called to fail. Type traits? I don't know. I should go eat, actually. Now, this is, of course, has the same problem. So maybe we have to go through something like that, but yeah. This is only detecting the arrow type, and then I still don't have the type. And if I ask Claude, then I get some kind of a horrible big construct again. It should be possible, just a few lines. I don't want to have a horrible construct to do this. It should be possible to do this simple. Well, not that much code. But yeah, I don't know. So let's ask it anyway and see what it says. It's not thinking. This is not C++ 20. Damn it. Yeah, this is much better. Template for non-pointer types. Using type declaration value operator. Ah, okay. Struct arrow type implementation, specialization for pointer types. Alice template is simplify usage. DeepSeek wins again. Just kidding, but definitely better answer. awesomeness. Okay, let's just add this to is pointer like in utils, I guess. The difference being I already have something that checks if something is an error type, but this really returns the type itself. Let me see. Error type is returns. I'm still slightly confused. What if it doesn't exist? Just that as well. Yeah. That's not a static assert. No, maybe I'm exaggerating here. It would be, I mean, it's, yeah, it must be dereferential using, an arrow, say, if that is dereferenceable. It should only assert, I guess, if the type is not equal. So we could test that. So now the static assertion really fails. Okay. Nope, that did not work. Uh-huh. That seems very usable. No, we're using the standard false type stuff again. Seriously. Ach. Yeah, I should go eat. My stomach is like hurting because it wants to have food. I do need to heat up my oven though, so you know what? I'll just heat it up. For some reason I don't have the syntax highlighting if the file is called troop. No, much better to look at. Okay, that's it's almost the same thing. I'm pretty sure they just stole the data, DeepSeek. How else would they generate the same thing? I mean, how far is this now exactly the same? That's an interesting question, I suppose. Yes, here, this a different AI and a generated namespace utils helper to detect if operator is valid for a type. Okay, it's the has operator, but that there is also always some randomness. Right? If you ask for a regeneration of the answer, you get something slightly different. Template type name T, type name void, struct, has error operator, standard false type, exactly the same so far. Template type name T, struct, has operator. This is an already a specialization. Yeah. But okay, standard void type. Declaration type, standard declaration value, operator blah blah, so that's exactly the same. Primary template, struct LOL, implementation type is void. Where are we now? Oh, that's different. It's using a bool here. So that is pointer, comma, bool has error operator. At least this one is using a standard enable if t. What? Mm-hmm. Even type trace is C++11. I don't know. I'm so hungry. Damn it. Oven. Do something. Beep. That's a lot shorter if it works. Has error operator. I already have that somehow, but okay. Function templates. Type deduction. Get arrow type. Auto get arrow type. T pointer P. Returns T pointer. Requires has arrow type and not is pointer. Concentration auto get arrow type. Return the declaration type of T that. Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah. This is what I wanted to see. So you just put the requires here so that the template is not going to be used if this is not true without giving a compile error. That's what concepts are for. So this is super concept, you know, and of course the word concept here. And then the previous solutions with the template specialization stuff, that were just hacks. They invented concepts to make that, you know, much more readable and much better. I don't get it why the stupid LLMs gave the wrong answer. It's more like a C++ 17 answer. So this is simply saying, okay, it must have an arrow operator, so that would be then either operator arrow or it is a pointer, but we disallow pointers. So now it does have an arrow operator. And then you can, I mean, it won't complain about this because it's not even going to try to compile it if this is not true. So now you can say get the arrow type. In the case that this is true, so in the case that that is defined, and then we simply get the declaration the type of whatever this returns. And that is then the specialization actually that it is going to use for this one, if this is true. And if this is not true, then it must be a pointer, of course. So then you can tell simply the pointer. Arrow type against the return type of get arrow type, declaration type I mean. Yeah, of get arrow types, standard declaration vals and remove reference. Yeah. I think this works. It beeps, right? Okay, I'm gonna make my pizza. So, I'll be back.